In this YouTube video, we will play with the DALL-E style image generator. DALL-E was created by OpenAI. It is pronounced DALL-E like the artist, but written like Wall-E in the Pixar movie. It's that famous robot. This version of DALL-E that you can see has lower fidelity, but still trained on 15 million image and text pairs by Boris Dema. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right, and his team, who are the winners of the Google and Hugging Face AI competition. DALL-E's claim to fame was these two amazing set of imaginary generated images. An illustration of a baby daikon radish in a tutu walking a dog, and an armchair in the shape of an avocado, a very beloved fruit of the internet. And these two sets of images are imaginary, generated completely from scratch by OpenAI DALL-E. And now DALL-E 2 is out, and it's even more extraordinary. You can see an astronaut riding a horse in space in photorealistic style, and it's incredible. Very soon, DALL-E could be your personal Photoshop assistant. We use a much smaller version of DALL-E on the internet to create these interesting experimenting images of raccoons. And in fact, if you want to find out more, there are Redditors and subreddit dedicated to DALL-E generated images that are creative and interesting. Here you see a Greek philosopher in green mohawk and CCTV footage of Santa Claus delivering gifts. I thought it was pretty cool. So in this experiment, we try to generate with DALL-E style image generator one of the internet's favorite animal, which is raccoons. So first we search raccoon in a royal portrait with crown, and the result is already stunning. We had at least 9 raccoons with different personality, and not bad in terms of facial alignment and this feature. Keep in mind, this is not the full DALL-E created by OpenAI. And we're like, okay, that's great. We still want a portrait. Let's add a gold frame. So in the words, I added Raccoon King portrait in gold frame, and I left out the crown part, and the result was still very interesting, very cool. It understood exactly my natural language and generated the right image that correspond with a natural language text. So I fancied it up a little bit. I said Raccoon King portrait in gold frame with a crown. Yes, it is starting to look really good. And the bottom image inspired me to input the final words I chose, which is Raccoon King portrait in gold frame with a crown in noble clothes. And I must say, I am not at all disappointed by the result. There is a little bit of fuzziness on the facial area. You can see this is generated images, but creative, very creative. In a separate experiment, when I did a human king, I must say the postures are quite different, actually. I thought these portraits are very appropriate for the Raccoon King. So here you go, some zoomed in images of these 4 glorious portraits. There are some interesting other attempts that I tried to just play with this. By the way, if you want to play with it, if you're a member with us, you can go down and read this flashcard on how to get started with playing and creating a version of DALL-E. And you can also look at Boris Dema's creation, and it's in the internet. Here is an avocado astronaut and raccoon astronaut riding camel in outer space. If you look closely, the astronaut in the helmet is actually it's actually an avocado face. So it was a little jumbled up, and you can see it was a little confused, but it did generate an avocado astronaut and a camel, sort of, and some interesting avocado planets. So it wasn't quite exactly what I asked for, but I'm already pretty amazed by the creativity of these fantastic futuristic creations. And I also tried Kingfisher with the protest sign. So, but you can see the actual signs were pretty fuzzy, as expected. This one's interesting. Marble David with 3D goggle, bubblegum in his mouth. A bubblegum in his mouth is very impressive. 3D goggle looks like a little more like swimming goggles, but I am not disappointed. And Venus marble statue with unicorn colored hair. She has more of a unicorn wardrobe, but still, it pretty much is what I was thinking about. And I must say it's very creative. Like, if I'm an artist, I can use this to influence some of my creativity. Some of these images are very impressive. Like, I would be limited as a human to think of these creative combinations.